All right, 2 Chronicles chapter 19, let's call this one Jehoshaphat established justice, because as we mentioned at the end of the last chapter, he had a close call with death, or a brush with death, that finds him making his way home now, quite possibly with a great deal of relief. But much like his father Asa, he is going to be greeted by a prophet who is not bringing him good news. It's not a further doom. This time it's more or less counsel in the form of two questions. Should you actually be trying to help the wicked? And then likewise, is it really rational for you to love those who hate God? And so it begs the question, where did Ahab say that he hated God? He never said that. And sometimes we can hear questions like that when we are confronted with the common sense task of having to regularly discern who people are beyond what they say, because Ahab never said he hated God. As a matter of fact, he's a king on the throne of Israel, the northern 10 tribes, God's nation, of course, right? But it's in the way he treated those who tried to tell him the truth, punishing them for telling the truth when he imprisoned Micaiah, what seemed to be his last remaining prophet willing to tell him the truth. And as opposed to what we saw with Asa being enraged by what the prophet told him in the way of helping him process the mistake that he had made in trying to pay off the king of Syria to get him out of trouble with the king of Israel, this time Jehoshaphat's going to be open to hearing and considering what the prophet is telling him. And in response, it's going to seem that the words from the prophet combined with his close call with death are going to encourage him to be very diligent about making sure that Judah is strong, understanding that he is now in the unenviable position of having married into Ahab's family. Now what he's going to do is the best that he can. And so he is, as opposed to simply sending out teachers as we saw in previous chapters to help guide the people in the way that they should go, he is personally going to go out amongst the people of Judah to make sure that they understand the ways in which they need to be very diligent in moving Judah forward so that they do not end up like what he just got a chance to witness in Israel. And so in addition to encouraging the people, he is going to firm up the judiciary by appointing officials and priests and Levites to be out among the people, making sure to establish justice, reminding them that God is impartial, he does not take a bribe, and so likewise in his service as judges, they are to be impartial and not take a bribe, helping them to understand that their warning has a potential of not only saving the people who are seeking justice, but themselves. Because as judges, if they are not issuing accurate and fair rulings, they are not simply depriving the people of justice, they are putting themselves under the threat of drawing condemnation from God. And so he is helping to establish the courts and encouraging the people to continue to grow Judah in a healthy direction, because it does not seem that he can be very certain that he is going to be able to leave the throne of Judah in the hands of competent leadership. And so, as we mentioned, his concerns are not unfounded, because within 3 generations, Ahab's descendants will have taken over the throne of Judah. And so whether Jehoshaphat knew it would ever get that bad or not, it seems that he is now doing the best that he can to strengthen Judah's society to be able to withstand whatever influence Ahab's descendants will now have over the throne of